So you all had a good weekend, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Busy.
It's fairly quiet, all in all.
No fire hall this weekend then, Jamie, or only on standby?
Just if I got a call, we had a couple of calls here so far this weekend, but nothing major. At this rate, we're going to average more than a call a day. If we keep the rate we're going now, the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Well, what are most of those calls? They're not actual fires, probably.
Oh,
are they?
no. Medicals, car accidents, car fires, lift assists, false alarms, like generator, a lot of them too.
Mm.
I just call them fire calls because that's what they are. They come in as a fire call, but
Let's see, if you're having a fire a day, you might have to do some investigations.
you were on Kinleg for a little bit there today, were you, Scrump?
Yes, I was. I did a couple contracts there. And I filled up my sawmill, so it keeps producing.
Yes, I saw you. I like your pole that you have to hook your winch to.
Nice, isn't it? It's such handy. I just hook up my trees to my winch and they end up at the right place. I didn't expect it would work, but it does.
Yeah.
I thought that winch was stronger though, because you have to cut a tree in very small pieces to move it with a winch.
Yeah, if you buy the bigger one, like a heavier trailer one, like the one you got hooks to the back of the tractor, there's one that's like it's a standalone.
Yeah.
It's got more capacity.
Yeah, this one was in the sale, that's why I bought it. I never used it before, and I was like, well, I'll give it a go, since the terrain I bought is pretty hilly. Some serious angles on that terrain.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to decide which farm I'm going to keep my tractors at.
No, you don't. Just buy more tractors.
Yeah. Where's the duck point of view gone?
No, I don't have enough room to keep all my equipment at the home farm, the original farm. majority of my fields are now at the other farm. Look at how awful this is. Ah. My grass field I planted looks like it's got scabies or something. I guess I'll just buy a regular seeder and get rid of this one, because that one don't work. Plus I got enough acreage now that I need to really update my, implement size. I did buy another tractor, Jamie.
What'd you buy?
The little baby Deutz. I needed a loader tractor, so I got that little tiny Deutz to keep with my Deutz lineup.
You watching my
It's a
stream?
nice tractor then. Yes, I am.
So I had to keep my biogas moving, Doc, so I made an investment last week too.
It's not a lot of meat there. Just a small load of meat.
A small load.
Probably over $1 million in income.
It's gonna help.
That's too much, but
Gonna have to help pay for this though, Scrump.
oh yeah, for the JCB, definitely.
I left bucket. I
I
might bid
saw that sitting there, and I thought it was the old one when I went by originally. Why didn't you get the giant one?
Didn't need the giant one.
Mr. Moneybags.
I don't know. I'm not like Wonko. Wonko, you check his bank balances in there. He's doing pretty well.
Wow.
620 grand.
Leader of the socialists.
Hang on. 1 minute I'm the communist and the fascist, and now I'm the socialist. You're gonna have to pick one.
They're all the same. Maybe you're a greedy capitalist. We don't know. You can't pick one. Actually, I need that loader down at the other farm. I can't buy a JCB though because it's British. It's not German. It's
Yeah,
inferior.
we import.
You don't if you're German. I see quite a few of these Deutz tractors around here. There's a dealership that's been selling a lot of them. I know they're not cheap, so it kind of, but the places I see them, all the other tractors they have are like the Versatiles and stuff like that I know are cheap. So it makes me wonder why they're running them. It might be because they're cheaper in a Fendt, so that would, it's basically the same quality as a Fendt tractor. It's just,
Oh, don't insult Trump like that.
what?
Saying something's the same quality as a Fendt tractor.
I would actually have the Deutz over a Fendt, because Fendt is part of AGCO, and AGCO is not known for making brilliant things. I actually like the Colossus tractors the best because they still feel like the other brands, like New Holland, Case. They're fairly easy to. You get in a Fendt and everything's stupid. The way they do everything is stupid. You can't just turn the PTO on. No, you have to turn the PTO. You have to go and select the PTO. Then you have to turn it on in the screen. Then you have to acknowledge that there's a spinning thing coming out the back or front of the tractor. And then you have to select what kind of PTO you want. And then you can turn it on. And then you can't just push the button. You have to double tap it like a double click. It's just absolutely aggravating. Fence are nice if you have one person that runs that tractor all the time. Like if you're the owner and you buy it. But if you got hired people that you're constantly putting in that tractor, different people, it's not ideal. It's not easy to just sit in it and figure it out.
You're right, it's not an ideal.
No, it's not an ideal. You guys ever have any new idea unis up there in Canada?
Any... What again?
They were built by the New Idea company that's now owned by AGCO. They were a uni system, so you could put a combine, a forager, a rock picker, a loader. They used a lot of them for seed corn and sweet corn. But you could take the it was basically like a power unit, and then you would just take the whatever off of the power unit, and then you could swap it, which I don't really understand. It's a lot of work to do that, so I don't understand why anybody would have wanted to do that.
No, I'm not sure if I've ever seen that one or not.
Yeah. Most of them were seed corn, sweet corn, or forage harvesters. I've seen one combine. And then a bunch of guys made red beet harvesters for them. Rock pickers, which they actually had a rock picker that Uni made. I can't remember all the attachments they had for them. They had all these different things you could do with them. But it's like whatever was on it, that's pretty much, you didn't change it, because it was like, you had to take the whole thing off of it, you know? Kind of an interesting concept at the time. It's aimed at like small dairy farmers, so you'd go and chop your corn, and then you'd go swap your uni over to a combine, and then you go combine the rest of it. And AGCO bought them and basically turned it into a small hay tools and manure spreader line. This is what they basically made anyway. Be kind of cool for farms if you just go in the shop and change the different bodies. I still want to know why we don't have an Oxbow dump cart in this game.
Actual or
So
Oxbow?
Oxbow.
Oxbow dump cart.
Yes. Well, you got those sugarcane dump wagon things. But see, you could, like, Oxbow makes a special one. It's a low-sided cart just for peas. Because that's what you see when they're harvesting peas and beans and all that stuff, is that it's basically like the back of the spinach harvester. It's just its own wagon. So they have this low-sided one for pea harvest, and then you could unload your pea combines, and you wouldn't have to try to get them to self-unload. Somebody made Oxbow dump carts out on the internet somewhere. The slack American modding groups are out there still making terrible mods and then trying to charge people to access their websites. You work on the map, Blanco?
Not this weekend. Too many other things on the go.
A lot of socialist rallies and gay pride events to attend.
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. It's okay. We don't judge you for your actions.
Yes, you do.
No, we don't, because we said we don't. Duh.
Hopefully next weekend I'll be able to get some time.
I don't know why people bother wasting their precious lives protesting. Nothing they're protesting is going to be life-changing anyway. All you do is annoy everybody that's trying to get things done with their life.
It makes them feel superior and good.
They always look angry to me. They're shouting, they're pushing, they got all these signs that they're shoving in your face. I don't think protests actually work. I really don't. I don't think anybody actually cares about your protest. Other than, you know, they support you online on their couch while they're watching Netflix.
Yeah.
I'll give that a like. Good on you. I just can't think of anything that would be so worth my time to go and protest. It's like going to a political rally. Why waste your life going to a political rally?
Never been to one.
Me either. I don't see the point. You get this thing that you can do on election day where you go and you fill out a piece of paper and you tell the government who you think should be in charge. That's about all you can do. Anything beyond that, I don't know. You're supposed to be able to call your congressman to give him a piece of your mind, but I don't think they really actually care. They get in Washington, D.C., they just go do whatever they're told to do anyway.
A lot of taters to do there, Scrum.
Shitload of taters, Jamie.
I don't know why you did that to yourself.
I thought Guest would give me a hand,
Oh,
but
you thought wrong.
I thought wrong there, yeah. He ran off to the missus.
He's all Twitter-pated.
Okay, and this one.
I like to wait till the pH is so low that it takes about 40 loads of lime to get it back where it needs to be.
That's better. Going from yellow to a greeny color, so it means I'm doing something.
Well, supposedly they made it cover a little better now. Oh, that's fantastic, car. That was a great place to stop. Oh, because you got another car overtaking, and now you two are running into each other, just like real life.
They driving Subarus?
I think so. Subarus are a good car. They are not.
Oh, you started him off again, Jamie.
It's oh so easy to do though, so.
Jamie probably drives a Subaru.
Drives the Buick.
A Buick.
Yep, old man car.
That's the man. Yeah, that's the brand of my grandma. My grandma owns a Buick. She can't drive it, but she owns one. She thinks she can drive, but she can't get into it, so it makes it a little difficult to drive it. You can tell when somebody drives a Buick, they're a family man.
Brought me to it was it's a little more soundproofing and stuff. I drove like the bass down version of the tracks. I tried that. And I was impressed.
Is it the little crossover thing?
Yeah, it's Encore GX, like the one step up.
I think that's what my uncle has. I think I've changed my opinion on vehicles anyway. I used to always have to drive a pickup truck. But I don't really use it for anything. You know, once in a while I do need it, but I could get along with driving, like, I don't know, my Honda. Like a Honda Accord. Like a single mom kind of car.
Base it. You're just trying to talk yourself into a Subaru. Put your bike in the roof.
Yeah.
No.
I'd rather have a
Yeah.
Subaru than a Honda.
You sure, Wonko? Because you kind of strike me as a Volkswagen.
I've had a Honda. I was not overly impressed.
I think Toyotas are probably like the average person's car. They run forever. They seem to last great, last very well. The Hondas do too.
One of the nicest cars I've had was a Rover 620 S. Which one was it? SE? V6 petrol. Back in the days when petrol wasn't so stupidly expensive.
It's not expensive. Just come over here. They try to keep diesel cars out of America.
There's nothing wrong with diesel cars these days.
Well, once they started emissionizing them, and they started making them run quieter, it's not like the old Volkswagen. Well, I don't know what they're called over there, but they're called the Rabbit here.
I go grab me a coffee. I'll be right back.
Okay, bud.
They named the car a Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was what's it called over in Europe? I don't know. It's not a Golf.
Polo?
It might have been a Polo.
T-Rock.
Yeah, it might have been a Polo.
Is it a small hatchback?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that must be the Polo then.
Quite often it comes convertible.
Golf.
I've had 2 Volvo estates. One was good, one was not. And Volkswagen. That was good.
I figured you'd like a Volkswagen, you fascist.
No, it's the same as the Golf. It says here, Doc, Volkswagen adopted the Rabbit name in North America because they felt the Golf sounded too upscale for economy car.
Was the Golf?
It's the Golf. What was the other one?
Yeah, because you could get it.
Jetta? Jetta? No. Yeah, it was Jetta. It was more the sedan style, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, we call them
Yeah.
a saloon.
Yeah.
We don't seem to have saloons anymore.
No, we don't have any anymore either.
Utilities.
I think what's a sedan now, Jamie? I mean, you've pretty much got the Dodge Charger.
I wouldn't. Yeah, but see, that's not a sedan to me. That's like a sedan is more like a Buick, Buick car. What's it called?
The Regal.
Yeah, that's what I would call a sedan. Charger's more of
You'll-
I'll call it a muscle car, but you know what I mean. It's more of a sport car.
Well, yeah, because it's got either a big turbocharged V6 or a supercharged V8. Yeah. Yeah, they don't make very many 4-door cars. Well, actually, nobody makes any anymore because only car that they make here is the Ford Focus that Ford makes.
The Ford Focus.
Yeah, they make the Ford Focus. I don't even know what GM makes. I haven't seen a GM car in forever. Yeah, all the four-door cars around here are Hyundais.
Elantras, yeah.
They're real popular because they're cheap. They're actually a really good value for their cheapness.
Yeah.
And lots of those. Honda, Toyota. She got the
Mazdas.
Corolla and the Accord. And then the Subaru.
Aye.
Mitsubishi Shogun. Had that for a while. Again, V6 petrol. We kept going through front tyres on that like it was going out of fashion.
Something wrong with the suspension. All my cows are full of food.
And we rather disastrously had a Renault, which was a piece of shit.
You're talking
Didn't they-
about Renault now, Wonko. Are you surprised?
Wow, no. But it had
Don't-
the space we were after.
Don't they come broken from the factory?
Pretty much.
There is the odd good one there, but not many of them.
I don't think it was design problems with Renault. It was just the actual assembly was the problem, wasn't it?
Design, assembly.
Attention
all
to
of the
detail.
Yes.
Well, in Dutch there is a saying about Renault, but it doesn't make sense in English. But in Dutch you would say roest en narigheid, achtervolgen uw lange tijd, which it stands for every letter in Renault. So, but it kind of means rust and bad things will happen to you at all times by buying a Renault, basically.
Like the found on road dead by Ford.
Yeah, it's like that, but
Yeah.
it makes sense in Dutch, but not in English, because it's not the same
Yeah.
letters for the same word.
You know what? I have a lot
Yeah.
of things in Dutch that make no sense to me.
Yeah.
Fix it
I
again, Tony, for Fiat.
I can barely do English some days, but I'm trying to do another language. What do you do? 3?
I do 3 fluently. Oh, well, I wouldn't call my English fluent in my German, but decent. And then I do a bit of French and a bit of Swedish.
Languages are how your mind works, though. That's why some people get it and some don't.
Well, it starts by trying, you know. And
Oh,
when
I've
you're-
tried.
When you're from France, you think you're living in the country that represents like what was it again? 35% of all people in the world talk French or something like that. I can't remember, but at least in a lot of countries in the world they talk French. So of course the French believe that they should be the second biggest language in the world or something like that. So they refuse to talk German or English.
can't see it being 35%.
I don't know
Because
how
you've
much it is,
got-
but it's a lot. Because there was a lot of countries in Africa that talk French. A big part of Canada talks French. Then
It's
there's
not a big part of Canada.
well, it's a decent part of it.
Yeah, but you've got the Chinese, which is the #1 language, Mandarin. You've got English, which is the most widely spoken in the business world. And
Yeah,
a large
business world,
portion
yeah.
of Western worlds Western countries will speak English.
No, but still, for some reason, the French believe that their language should be.
Yeah, but they believe a lot of stuff that just ain't true.
Yeah, that's true.
The French
No,
just make it up and believe it.
Pretty much. I'll be in so much trouble if my French friend could hear me now.
He'd probably agree with you.
Yeah, he might do. He's an anarchist.
But the problem with some, well, we went to France for holiday quite a bit when I was younger, and they can speak English, but they just refuse
Choose not
to do
to.
so. Yeah. But we were going to a camping, me and the missus, and my French is okay, but it's no more than okay. I can kind of do the absolute basics in it. So we went to that camping, to the information point, the reception, and there was another Dutch man checking in just before me. And my English is better than my French, so I was like, well, I'll start in French and then I'll ask if they can continue in English. But the other man in front of me, he started in English straight away, right off the bat. And he got an answer in French. So the lady definitely spoke English and understood English, but she refused to answer him in English and answered him in French, and it took like forever and a lot of hand signs and stuff before they figured it out. And I was after him, checking in, and I was already a little bit worried, like, okay, this is going to be difficult. So I started in French, and I said, "Bonjour, madame. Je ne parle pas français. Je ne parle pas anglais, s'il vous plaît." So I asked her nicely if she wanted to talk English to me in French, and I got answered in English straight away. So you kinda, with the French people, you kinda have to show them a bit of kindness in French. And then they're willing to kinda cope with a bit of English. But the other man just started in English and got answers in French. And I was like, uh-oh, this is gonna be difficult.
See, I don't know, the French are just cantankerous. The English have beaten every country in the world at war at some point or another. And yet they're the only ones that get upset about speaking.
Yeah, I think we beat the English at least 3 times at sea.
I think you did, yes.
We only had to beat them
It's
once.
a long time ago.
They learned after the first time.
We even managed to sail into a harbor that was very far inland and blow up the main vessels in there. I still don't know how that happened. The British must have let their guard down there.
Probably all in a pub pissed.
Yeah, there's a good chance.
I don't understand how you guys thought it was a great idea to wear bright red coats and march around in the woods like that.
Well, we didn't in the end. We decided it was as dumb as fuck and decided to try camouflage.
Yeah, after we just kept slaughtering you. Because we were hiding in the bushes with, natural colors.
Have the British ever defeated any of the Nordic countries, Wonka?
And yet the northern countries.
Yeah, like Norwegian, Swedish, Denmark. Because the Vikings did get a lot of Britain.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of Viking and Saxon blood in the English. You'd have to ask Al Murray, he'd tell you. I mean, we've almost certainly beaten you at something, or beaten them at something, but whether we've actually had a war with them, I don't know.
It's probably just cricket.
Yeah, we don't beat anybody at that anymore. To be fair, we don't do anything very well anymore.
No, you really don't. Because you let a whole bunch of people come in that aren't English. They don't want to be English. They don't care.
Right, you've had a few million of them and all.
We've gotten rid of a few million of them.
Well, we shall see in a couple of years' time, hopefully. Depends if people can be asked about. That's the problem. Because that's the only reason we got the current crop of traitorous bastards.
You guys are ready for your own revolution.
We are. Don't know if you heard, but the Irish are really kicking off.
Yeah, they are.
The IRA's looking to reform just to kill their own government.
Yep, they've been doing that for a long time. Are they acting like they're actually serious this time?
Yeah, it's starting to look a bit serious.
See, the Canadians aren't going to go to war. They're just going to try to peacefully succeed from the Union.
They won't be allowed to.
See, that's the part I don't understand. So they can vote to succeed from Canada, but that, Canadian Parliament would have to approve it, right?
Probably. You'd have to ask Jamie.
You're talking if province can leave the country? Sorry?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if Alberta actually, succeeds from Canada, the province leaves.
Well, I mean, yeah. Really and truly, they can. Parliament, if the province wants to leave, but they think they're gonna miss out on all the other stuff too that comes down the pipe for taxations and that they're gaining on, and what they're leaving for, it's because of equalization payments. It's because they feel they're being treated unjustly, but they're only taking in one aspect of what they're being treated unjustly on because they're a richer province than the rest. So if they want to leave, go ahead and leave. I don't think the Canadian government can really do anything about it if that province wants to stand alone.
Mm.
But you're not going to get any of the other benefits to go along with it. So it's kind of like, I'm going to move out from my parents' house because I'm going to be my own independent person. Fuck, my fridge is empty. How am I going to fix that? Like that. That's kind of my analogy to it. Like it seems all great at the time until you really stop and think about it. Like the other things that you really don't pay attention to until you're looking at it and saying, well, how am I going to pay for that, or how am I going to do this? And what about healthcare? Like I'm going to administer my own healthcare thing. It's like if you said in your office space, we're going to take care of our own healthcare. We're not going to pay. We're all going to put $20 in the pool. Well, pretty soon that $20 is gone, and we don't have enough money to pay for the medication that Doc needs, or that Wonka needs, or that Jamie needs. It's not
If you
always.
just, if everybody just pays for it on their own, it's so much cheaper. So much cheaper. That's what the Mennonites do.
It can be for basic stuff, I will agree, but the problem is some of the stuff that you have to have is fucking costly.
Well, it is, but see what the Mennonites do is the Mennonites pay cash for everything. So they don't go through insurance, they don't go through any government programs or anything. They literally just pay cash. They write the checks. And they get 50 to 80% discounts off of what the insurance companies are being charged. Solely because they're paying cash to the hospital, because anytime they have to bill an insurance company or they have to bill one of the government programs, you're talking, 6 to 9 months on a good invoice to get paid. Where these guys are willing to just pay cash right now, and they get huge, huge discounts. Basically what they do is they take everyone in their church group, and you pay so much, every family pays so much a month to that, like, kitty, so that that's how they have the cash to write the checks. And then what they'll do is they'll take, and everybody just turns their medical bills into the church. So then the church goes through, says, okay, we have this much amount of money that we have to pay, and they just divide it amongst all the members of the church, all the families of the church, and then that's what your bill is that month. So sometimes your bill is like $50 a month, sometimes it's $300 a month, but it's still reasonable. That's still way cheaper than having health insurance for $800 or $900 a month, and then still having to go and pay, $500-$600 when you use the health care. It's just ridiculous. So they get those huge discounts on all that just because they don't have there's no red tape. The hospitals and the medical providers send a bill, and then they get paid for the bill. So they don't have to, they have to charge like 40% more than they normally would, because the insurance companies are going to come back and want this huge discount. And then the government plays the same game too. They say, well, because nobody really actually looks at what the service should cost. It's all on a bidding war game. So the hospitals are trying to get their money out of the government, so they overinflate the price. And then the insurance companies do the exact same thing the government does. So you look on your bill, and it'll be like $5,000 to go and, get your eyes checked. And then the insurance company says, no, we only pay $250 for that service. And then, so the doctor's office gets paid $250, or 200 of that being by the insurance company and 50 by you. Which, I don't know, spending $1,000 a month for one single dude on health insurance and still having to pay when you go to the doctor, to me, is just like highway robbery.
See, we don't pay.
No, we don't either.
You guys pay, you just pay with taxes.
No, we pay for healthcare a certain amount every month, and there's different options you can take, and you can, if you want the cheapest one, you're paying €380 of own risk. So anything you need for treatment, you're paying the first €380 yourself. But that's cheaper than, for example, the next package, which is only like €130 that you have to pay yourself. But then there's also the option to pay a little bit more again every month. But that means you're not paying anything for for any treatment. So it's a little bit which package you choose. And also over here, there is a lot of private clinics as well, and you could go there, but over here that's way more expensive than going through the regular healthcare system. The regular healthcare system over here is just, in my opinion, very well organized and pretty much covers everything.
I know in Canada it's not. Because I know a lot of people that used to go to Canada to buy the drugs, because the drugs were so much cheaper in Canada for the same prescriptions than they were in the United States, which makes no sense to me. But all these Canadians come down, because they can't get surgery scheduled or, whatever. So they would, if they can afford it themselves, they'll just come down to the United States and do it.
Yep.
Well, a lot of it's surgeries and cancer treatments and all that stuff.
Yeah, but it's out of pocket.
Yeah, it's out of pocket, but you can get it done.
I know people that have done it, but they can afford to.
Well, that's the only problem, is you have to be able to afford to.
Yeah, but why would you go? I mean, there's private clinics in Canada as well, I reckon.
Yes, but when you go
It's cheaper in America then, possibly.
It's cheaper in America, but I think we have doctor issues straight across the country with us here, and I don't know why. I know we have it here in PEI, but I don't know if it's a payment thing. They're not being paid enough for what they've done, but for what they do. But they're always screaming, looking for a medical profession.
They just don't.
There's shortage on doctors.
Yeah.
It's the same over in a lot of these states over here, like New York's a prime example. Most of the doctors are not from America. They didn't get their medical degrees from America, which irritates me, because the place I used to go is sponsored by a university, okay? It's a university healthcare system with multiple clinics, and they do everything from medical research all the way to hospitals and all this other stuff. They graduate students every year with medical degrees, right? But yet their clinics are all filled with people that are from India.
Yeah, we have the same thing over here. We have fully qualified GP, which is your basic doctor, who cannot get a job in this country. They just can't. The NHS will not employ them.
Because you got to get that diversity, huh?
I don't know the full story, but I know that a lot of the hospital doctors aren't actually fully qualified doctors anymore. They're just, I don't know, trainees.
Well, because
I don't quite understand what the fuck's going on, but it's not good.
Well, see, they're getting these shade tree medical degrees over, like in India and Pakistan and these other countries, and then they come over here, and then they only have to do their residency. So they basically are just, working in a hospital under guidance of other doctors. That's basically what a residency is. So when they do that, which I don't know where all the doctors that were graduating are from American universities are going. My assumption is that they're going to large market cities or something, somewhere where they're going to get paid extremely well. And the other thing is they also push them to be specialists over here. Because most of the specialists you go to have been born, raised, and have their degrees from America. And then the specialists, which everyone I've gone to, it's like a giant joke. Because you go to a specialist and they don't do anything different than your normal, your normal doctor does. So I don't even know why I'm there half the time. It's like, okay, so I gotta go see the specialist that charges my insurance company double of a
Ding,
normal
ding,
doctor.
ding, 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 ding. That's why.
Yeah, and that's
I
what.
feel sometimes they're in cahoots because there's referrals.
Oh, the referral system is stupid. It's just like, oh, you go to your primary doctor, and what does he do? Nothing. He kind of looks at you and says, "Yeah, okay, well, we're going to send you to the specialist." So then you go see the specialist. Then what does the specialist do? They see you for 2 seconds, and then there you go.
Well, we don't really have any troubles with outside or other country doctors coming in over here, but I think that's mainly because of our language. It's not easy to learn Dutch, and if you want to be a doctor or anything medical profession over here, you'll have to speak the Dutch language fluently.
That's a bit of a joke over here.
No, but I think on the other side, Wonko, it's a lot easier to speak and learn English because most people learn that from a young age, even in a foreign country.
Yeah, but I tell you now, there's a lot of people working in our NHS who cannot hardly speak English. Certainly not enough for you to understand.
Okay. Well, I mean, we got a couple Syrian doctors over here that when the war started in Syria and they come over here, but I gotta say they learned our language fluently and they serve and obey every rule in our country as they should. And also they're really good in what they're doing. So yeah, I don't have any problems with that, you know.
Oh, and I'll say too, like there's some of the doctors that are come from away with us here that I'm glad we have because my wife had gallbladder. She was in 3 times with gallbladder attacks, and went in one night, and doctor, I think he was Indian. He says, "I think that's enough of this. We're gonna get that taken out tomorrow." Like there was no messing around. So.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they're all terrible.
This time.
Well, no, there are good ones, and there's some good nurses as well. But it's very frustrating when you try to talk to somebody about something important and they can't understand your accent.
Yep.
And you can't understand them. And when it's medical, that's pretty damn important.
It's not your breakfast order at Dunkin' Donuts, right?
No.
Well, there's things that, it's called England, right? That's the name of the country. The language is called English. So I feel it's kind of like going to the Netherlands and expecting them to all speak French. They're not going to because they're Dutch. So they're not going to speak French. Some might, but they're not going, on a whole, you're not going to go over there and just start speaking French and expect people to understand what you're doing. I don't understand why we let people work in fields that deal with the public, especially like medical, emergency response, transportation, things where you have to have a clear understanding of what's going on.
Well,
it's definitely DEI box ticking to a large extent over here.
I don't think it is. I think it's.
I think it is.
The import of cheap labor is what I think it is, because these people come from these other countries and they work stupid cheap.
Oh yeah, but that's all DEI is. That's just a cover story for cheap labor.
It is actually, that way you can have the Mexicans that go and mow your lawn for you, because they do it cheap.
listen, I wholeheartedly understand. I work in a profession as a volunteer where I have to clearly and quickly communicate with somebody when something's happening. And we had guys that came and did the testing to be a firefighter, and I could not communicate with them at all because they hardly understood English, much less spoke or communicated with it.
Yeah.
Like, it's your...
Yeah, that,
There has to be. There has to be
In
a.
the Netherlands, it's really sharp on police, firefighters, ambulance, but also medical specialists. They all have to speak our language fluently, else you cannot work in that sector.
We even have migrants who are now police officers who can barely speak English. There's quite a few videos on YouTube that show it.
How did they read and write and understand the law, Wanko?
Oh, that's not a requirement for our police anymore. Oh, I'm not joking.
Oh,
Oh fuck! You're
I
being
know
serious.
all about them. Sorry, mate. Say again.
I said you're serious. I thought you when you said that. I thought it was just a.
No. I'm deadly serious.
well, I mean, some of the places I go to, the place I'm going to tomorrow, there's one Mexican that speaks English there. The rest of them, not even anything. So you know they're not legal.
Well,
The legal.
it depends on what it is, you know. I mean, over here in seaside bars or very popular spots, bars in the bigger cities where it's really busy in summertime but less busy in wintertime, we got a lot of Spanish people coming over to work over here, and they will serve you in English, even though we are in the Netherlands. But in reality, we just do not have enough people to fill in the jobs that are out in summertime. So we are really happy for those people to come over here and work here as well. And you might go to a bar or to a restaurant where you might have to talk in English to order your food. If you can't, there will always be someone available that does speak fluently Dutch, or there's always a Dutch supervisor there. So there's always the possibility to speak someone in Dutch. But in reality, we just do not have enough people in summertime to fill in all the jobs. And we're really happy that those people come over here. And they're really willing to work as well. I mean, they don't complain if to work 12 to 14 hours a day.
Yep.
I wonder if that's as true as you think it is, because that's what we were told for many, many years, that we needed all these people to come and do all the jobs. And it turns out that was just a big fat lie. We do need some skilled people, which we're short of.
But the biggest problem is, one car over here, no one wants to collect garbage.
Oh yeah, it's the same everywhere, I think. But the problem we've got is we pay people to sit on their fat asses rather than go out and fucking work. If you took a harder approach to it, if you took a harder approach to it,
But
said,
we
look,
don't do that anymore.
You're fit, you're able, you're not going to get free food and free this, that, and the other. If you're capable of working, and there's jobs for you to go and do.
Yeah. That's
Go-
what they changed
mean,
over.
Wanko. That's mean.
I don't give a shit. I don't want to keep paying for everybody else to sit on their fucking ass while I work my nuts off.
Well, just prepare, because it's going to get worse here in about 5 years.
Well, I'm over here, so.
No, it's going to get worse everywhere. It's going to get way worse where you're at. But once, I don't know. See, the problem with, like, our country is very diverse with our workforce, where I feel like England has kind of sold out any real skilled type work to other countries. But you're going to start looking where, when the AI models get into doing a lot of the business stuff, there's not going to be a lot of these jobs out there, these office type jobs anymore. you're going to need people that know how to do bricklaying and concrete and building and stuff like that. But as far as the office type work that a lot of people are employed in, that's going to go away a lot quicker than people intended to.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
going
know
to be
what's
a lot
going to happen
more
with that.
AI involved in that.
Because an AI can design and deploy manufacturing systems and the requirements, right? It can do engineering for the most part. And then the engineers are not going to be, the engineers are going to be prompting AI. So instead of sitting there and tediously building their 3D models, they're going to be prompting the AI of what they're trying to accomplish. So they're still going to do engineering because they're still going to have to know what specifications that everything has to be. But AI is basically going to do most of the work. So you're not going to need as many engineers. I think it's going to create projects, products far faster, more reliable, better products, and be way cheaper. And they could develop the systems to manufacture them. They can design the robots and the processes, so everything can be built by an AI system. Then it can be
Yeah,
fixed by
I don't think we're there
AI.
yet. I think AI is still too shit.
Mm-mm. What the AI that we get to play with is, and that's intentional, obviously. It's there. They are there. That's how Elon Musk is going to colonize the moon and Mars because Tesla is building the robots that are going to build the robots. Which I've seen this movie and I don't really like where it's headed.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
but
too much
also
Skynet going on there.
Elon Musk's also got his stupid grok bot that works like shit.
I think it works quite well on certain things.
On certain things, yes, it does. But
But those are large language model AIs. They're not the AI I'm talking about. That's kind of a different thing. But you're basically, I think in 5 years you're not going to see office people like you do today. I don't think the jobs are going to be there because these new AI programs are going to come about.
I think it
Business
depends.
software.
I think it depends on what the job is about. For example, an accountant that does just figures on paper to check them. I think that will be AI definitely in the future.
Yeah,
If you have an invoice saying there is $643 from company A to company C, for example, and that has to be checked by an accountant if you've put that in the right section. That's all manual work now, and AI can do that in the distant future. Pretty sure of that. Because it's just comparing numbers.
Yeah, but it's not. That today. All you have to do is have a human scanning that in to your business software, and it's already doing it all.
Yes, but it's not reliable yet. At least not over here. It's really good, but it's not there yet. You still have to check it if it's doing it right. Because invoices, it's supposed to order them on company name. But for some reason it still makes a mistake every now and then, even though it's coming from the same company. And it's getting better, definitely. But it's just not there yet.
It's going to be there probably a year from now. It will be there. And then it'll take a
I
few
agree.
years for companies to start adapting to it. But a lot of your coders and everything, software writers, all that stuff is going to be going away.
No, I don't think it's fully going away, but it will definitely minimize. It will need less people because of the AI will generate a lot of it.
I'm pretty sure that it'll go away entirely eventually because
Yeah, eventually, but
it's a logical.
not straight away.
No, but I don't think it'd be that far away, to be honest.
I think it's going to happen faster than you think it's going to, Scruff.
Yeah, well, we will see.
Certainly
Rise
for
up against the
coding,
machine.
accounting, that sort of stuff. That is just what computers are good at anyway. Other stuff,
Yeah.
maybe not so much.
Well, it's like I was watching a video on the Tesla semi-truck because they're releasing V2 of it now.
Mm-hmm.
It's still shit. Whatever moron decided to put make a cockpit with the driver's seat and the steering wheel in the center of the truck is a freaking idiot. Because they've obviously never driven a truck anywhere and done work with it. Because when you pull up to the gates to get into most of these places, you have to reach out the window and you have to hit a button. Do you know how far you have to get out of the truck to hit that button on that stupid truck? Because I don't know. They made
you just need a pole, Doc.
Huh? Yeah, now you need a pole. Hold on, let me get my broom handle to go push the button to let me in. So you can't do that. Second of all, it's got this weird school bus type doors on it. So you get in and then you have to step up and then you have to get around into the column. These people that designed this truck didn't bring real truck drivers in there because real truck drivers, I think, aren't going to be able to squeeze around this, around the seat to get into this cockpit thing.
Well, I don't think you'll find it's designed for real truck drivers, is it? It's going to be autonomous.
Well, it has auto drive like all the Tesla vehicles, but I think we're not going to be able to see autonomous. We have autonomous taxis and stuff, which I don't know how they get away with it. We've got to pass a law that says a licensed driver has to be behind the wheel at all times. Because if that autonomous taxi, is driving people somewhere and gets into a car wreck, whose fault is it? Is it the car's fault? Is it the company that made the car's fault?
Well, I'd say it's got to be the company's fault. Because if the car's made a mistake, which in theory they should never be able to,
the problem
it's
is
down to the person that made that code, made that vehicle.
So the problem with it is if you have autopilot like Teslas and you sit in the seat and you're riding in the car as it's auto driving, but you are in the driver's seat. You are the driver, you are responsible, you are the one that's supposed to make sure that that car does not, run a red light or something. So there's a company out here that's doing autonomous semis, and he posted a video on Facebook or Twitter or whatever of him riding in the sleeper while the truck was driving itself. And Pat Carr immediately came out and publicly condoned them for doing that. And then all of a sudden they changed their tune because Pat Carr was going to pull their funding for it because Pat Carr's been letting them use their trucks to develop this stuff, and they've been working with Pat Carr. And all of a sudden they decided that, oh yeah, by the way, we're putting a seat sensor in there and the truck will just stop if you get out of the seat. No shit. I don't see autonomous trucking even working. I really don't. I don't know how you would do it. There's too many variables. There's just too many variables.
I don't understand it enough to really know.
The other thing is that they're talking like it's a 500-mile range. Well, that's in the Central Valley, California. What if you start leaving the Valley of California? I mean, California's got some serious mountains. You know, the Grapevine and everything else right outside of LA. So, what do you get on a charge when you got to pull the Grapevine? 300 miles? 200 miles? Because obviously you're going to be using way more electricity to go up a mountain.
Well, I would thought Elon was giving up on electric vehicles.
That was my impression, was that they were getting rid of the Tesla was severely decreasing their presence of electric vehicles because basically, you know, the American market's kind of shit right now for electric vehicles.
It's shit everywhere. Nobody wants them.
Well, there's another company that bought a bunch of Tesla. I don't know if they were Tesla, but they were electric trucks that they bought them as like scrap units. They were like road test units, and they keep the electric drive system for the wheels and all that. And then what they do is they put a diesel engine up front, and they basically made a locomotive. So it's diesel engine, generator, electric drive system. And the electric drives are actually really awesome on the cars and the trucks, because you have like true traction control, because you can vary the output of every motor, and you're watching you're watching everything at once. So it's really cool how that works.
With electric vehicles, there's lots of problems with electric vehicles. Number one, the cost of the batteries to manufacture, both morally and environmentally.
That problem is going to be solved soon.
Then you've got the fact that they catch fire on a regular basis. You've got
and the charging
range.
The charging ports at your house set your house on fire.
Yeah, you've got the cost of replacing the batteries when they're fucked, which is for some of them is only a couple of years. It's just a nonsense. Oh, and that's before you get into fucking network and power generation side of it.
Well, so that's the main problem, because Swift Transportation, they've got like 12,000 trucks. They're one of the largest companies in America, and California forced them to buy 20, I think they're Tesla semis.
Yeah, you said before about that.
They don't use them. They're 20 electric trucks parked in their lot. Nobody wants to drive them. Nobody wants to use them. And they're parked there because California makes them own them.
And you call us communists.
Well, yeah, but that's California. They are further communist than you. So the problem with it is that the CEO of Swift asked, because they could only put in so many charge ports at their terminal. So they asked, well, how many more can I put? And the power company said, this is it. I think it was 20 of them. It says that's all you're going to get. Well, why? They said, well, this is the maximum amount of electricity that we can ship to this location, because the infrastructure's not there. We can't ship you any more electricity. This is the maximum that the grid will hold, unless we overhaul the grid. That's why it's
the problem we've got here. We've got an idiotic government pushing for more people to have electric heating, electric cars, and the network is old. It's failing in places. We don't have the generation and capacity because successive governments have failed to plan. and it's just fucking ridiculous. In my house, I've got an electric boiler. I shouldn't really have one because I'm on a linked supply. So my supply comes from next door.
You're stealing your neighbor's electricity?
Nah, we've got separate meters. But it comes from the power pole to my next door neighbour, then it comes to us. So the cable's only rated for one house basically, but it's doing two. So if he has electric cable and my electric boiler going at the same time, we're fucked.
Why on earth would you have two houses from one?
Well,
Power.
first then it wasn't an issue because people didn't have this electrical power needs. You basically had an electric light, gas cooker, and an open fire. That was it. That's all you'd have.
Yeah, I understand that part of it, but
You got to remember, Scrump, this is back when you had to go club your dinner out in the backyard.
it sounds like they're still that primitive over there.
No, it's just an old network.
Yeah.
No, because nothing. They built the electric grid, and then they never updated it.
Well, in fairness, it didn't need updating until the last 10 years. You know, in terms of capacity. But if you've got a nation of 70 million and say 30 million vehicles, and they're saying those 30 million vehicles have all run on electricity, that's a fuck ton of power stations you've got to build.
Yeah, and
Well,
you
that's why-
should build the power stations before you move to full electric.
Yes. But you try telling the fuckwits that.
Well, it's like
They
they put up
think
all
the
those.
sun will shine and the wind will blow and it'll all be good.
Yeah, but the problem is they put all this stuff up, and then by the time that they get it all up, it takes to put a windmill farm up. I mean, it takes like 2-3 years to put a windmill farm up. And you don't get any electricity out of them. Most of the time, the ones that were around me, they'd have to shut them down because, you know, the wind's blowing too hard. It's making too much electricity and the grid can't handle it. Plus, a lot of times you get the high winds at night, which is when you don't have the power usage anyway. But the new Tesla batteries are about twice as good as the old batteries, because this new truck, the battery is half the size of the old battery and it has twice the range. So they are making advances with batteries.
No, we're all waiting for the new Swedish battery. That's gonna solve all our problems soon.
I don't think
Is that
so.
one?
That's the sand battery.
Oh, for heating.
No, it's for storing electricity as well.
Oh, okay.
And it's gonna take a while. It's definitely in a very early stage, but you no longer need any chemical for building the battery. It's a certain type of desert sand where we have plenty from all over the world, and they fill the battery with that sand and water, and they have been able to charge and recharge.
Isn't that going to be
and
very heavy?
No, actually,
Wet
it's
sand,
gonna be.
trust me, is heavy.
Yeah, I know, Wonko. But don't ask me how they have done it. But it was an article in innovation in an innovation magazine, and they're working on it in Sweden. And they managed to produce a sand battery, and they're working with Norwegian engineers, I think, on it. And the battery is a little bigger than a normal battery, and also a bit heavier, but it's also during the durability, it's like 3 or 4 times longer, and also the capacity is 5 times more for the same amount of weight. There is one
Should
big
that
problem
make it lighter?
with it. No, I don't think it's going to be lighter because, or
Well,
maybe
if
it is.
it's 5 times better capacity, then you don't need as much to get the same.
Yeah, yes and no. Yeah, you're right on that. But you could also say you get a better range, because if you would have 200 kilometers of range now, you would have 800 or 1,000 with the same size battery. Kinda.
What about degradation?
It seems to be 3 times longer lasting than current batteries. There is a one.
So you'll get 6 years out of it instead of 2.
Well, I would say 20 instead of 6 to 8. And also, there's no
I've
chemical
got to be
in
honest,
it.
Grumph. I don't know anybody who's got a 6-year-old electric car
Oh, it's
with its
plenty
original
away.
battery.
There's still the first generation Teslas driving around here. Still with the first battery pack.
Don't believe it.
No, very true. My friend has a Tesla, and it's still the first generation. And yes, they do get less on mileage, but it still works.
I mean, if you want a cheap van over here, you just buy a used electric. 10,000 miles, and the people who bought it just don't want it.
Well, because people a lot of times
I would prefer a
Priuses.
hybrid car myself instead of
Well,
electric.
Yeah,
Well,
that would make
hybrid
more
is
sense.
the ideal. You get all the benefits of the electric drive with your hybrid, like the semi-truck that's a hybrid, right?
Yeah,
You put diesel in it, it drives anywhere, but you got all the benefits of the electric drives.
yeah.
Plug-in hybrid is the way to go, but there's all these Priuses that are like 5 to 10 years old out here that need batteries, but people just drive them around as a, petrol car because why not? The battery doesn't even work in it. It doesn't do any like hybriding, but it still gets pretty good fuel mileage considering, it's a small car.
Yeah.
I would take the battery out then, you get even better mileage.
I don't know if you can. It's kind of like,
I'd try.
uh,
Mind you, apparently it's incredible just dealing with them batteries.
No,
I think it's kind of like a cell phone. You can't take the battery out of it; it doesn't work. But if the battery's in it and doesn't work and it has to be plugged in all the time, it still works.
but with those sand batteries, there's still a really big problem, and that's they get too hot. Still, they haven't found the solution yet to cool them in time. But
Well,
they're working on it.
Tesla truck, the Tesla semi-truck has got liquid-cooled batteries that uses the same antifreeze that a normal truck would use, truck or car.
Yeah. But that sand battery story that they're working on, it sounds really promising. That's for sure.
I think we ought to just wait until the super AI tells us how to do all this stuff without trying to come up with our all idiotic ideas. It's kind of like right now with the electric vehicles, it's like watching cavemen try to figure out how to make a car. Because the energy thing is going to get solved if we just wait a little bit, because AI is going to figure it out. Now I've upset the AI and it's booted me out of the game.
Oh, I was just going to say, you leave it as...
There you go, Doc.
Yeah, not happy with me. We'll just blame Jamie.
I did hear about, although I didn't get a chance to read it, sand being used as a heat store.
Yeah, that was also being used. I heard that. or they're being worked on. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't get, like I said, I didn't get a chance to read it. I would have loved to have done.
that sounded very promising to me as well. And they are, because you said, Wonka, you had a lot of electric problems over there with storing the energy, I guess, as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we knew 20 years ago we needed to build more power stations, and they didn't do it.
Well, they got a pretty good solution over here at the moment. It's not 100% fine-tuned yet, but we got quite a lot of windmills and solar panels, and those are only efficient if you can use them all the time. If you have to shut them down, they're just not efficient enough. So what we're doing now is we had an old, very large gas system, so a gas power plant, basically. We changed that gas power plant to a, is it hydrogen? I think it's called hydrogen in English.
Yeah.
Hydrogen is 100% clear. It's clean as can be. So what they're doing now over here is they build huge storage tanks in Groningen, and they build a huge fabric to make hydrogen. But making hydrogen, Jesus, damn word, is very power consuming.
Not when you make it with the nuclear plant.
Yeah, true. But what they do now over here is instead of shutting down the solar panels and the windmills when they're producing too much energy, is they put it into making hydrogen, and then they converted the gas powered power plant to a hydrogen system. So what we're doing now is we're storing our excess energy. We're putting that into hydrogen, which we store, and then we burn when we need it for nighttime or when there's no sun or when there's no wind. We use the hydrogen plant to make energy again, which is fully clean energy, basically.
Well, you obviously have people who are grown-ups and can think beyond step. We unfortunately seem to be ruled by idiots who can't think further than the end of their nose.
Us too.
Because it's a really good solution. It seems to work very good over here. Because solar panels, solar panels are good, but only if you can use them to their full capacity, basically. And by making the hydrogen from the excess energy, we got a clean fuel to produce at any time we want, basically.
The only problem you've got with that system is you've got nothing spinning, haven't you? Unless the hydrogen power plant is going.
Yeah, of course, but we still got our nuclear plants to jump in when needed. But yeah, for the wind and solar energy and the storing of energy, it's a really good solution for us.
I don't know what happened, but man, I'm coming in hard.
Well, I'm glad you're out of the game, because for some reason it's a bit smoother again now, Doug.
I'm in the game. I've been in the game, but I am just glitching, lagging, all over the place. I don't know if it's my internet or
Nah,
the connection of the server.
I don't know why, but I think it has something to do with the server. Because when I was in here on my own, I was running 45 frames per second, no problems, no stuttering, nothing. And then when Wonko joined, it dropped a little bit. When Doc joined, it dropped a little bit more, and then when Jamie joined, it dropped even more. So
Yeah, but that's normal.
yeah, but it's annoying.
The more people doing the
What
more
date
things.
isn't that on here shortly? Probably after 6.
You put potatoes on?
Sorry, I went the wrong way with the mute.
Like, what are you putting potatoes on, Jamie?
Put the potatoes in the stove to cook them. Potatoes and carrots and pork for supper here.
Gotcha. Oh. Well, you seem to be making a lot of pork as it is over there.
Because that's where the money is. That and the beef.
The thing about the server running like once a week is that it does limit how big you can get. Because you still have to be able to do everything in a week. I mean, you could get Ice to help you out there, Jamie.
Yeah. Doing good.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
You didn't have much to do, did you, Jamie? Did you say?
I had
It looks like you still...
I had
no field work.
no crop work. All I had to do was 2 fields to till under, put a bit of lime on, so I'm just doing shuffling here now.
Yeah.
The next map we start, I am going to go smaller, Doc. Don't quote me on that.
You said that
you
plenty
and
of times.
you and Scrump would do the same thing, because you'd be like, I don't have anything to do. I don't have anything to do. I guess I got money. I'll buy a field. Oh well, I'm gonna do this. Next thing you know.
I mean, when you look at the map, we don't own that much between the two of us.
Well, it's a good thing it's a 4x map. Because
Some-
otherwise, Wonko and I wouldn't have anything to do. We wouldn't have any fields to buy.
Well,
Sounds like we're gonna have to team up then next time.
Yep.
I don't know. We used to all just play the same stinking farm. That's
Oh,
where all the
there's-
arguments started, because we'd all argue about who was going to do what and what we were going to do and where we were going to place things and how much money we were going to spend.
Oh, it's mostly about what money was spent on vehicles, wasn't it?
Well, not just vehicles. It's like we were playing that Homeworld, I think, in 19. That's when Andy was playing with us. We had a lot of people on that game. A lot of people. And Johnny goes out, and just plops down like 4 fermenting silos for no apparent reason. And it was okay when Johnny spent the money, but when anybody else spent any money, then he had the problem. I think we spent all the time just arguing about who was going to spend money on what and what fields we were going to buy, because there's too many people to come to an agreement.
that's why I think this does work well, because we all have our own ideas of what we want to do too, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
But we can still help each other.
yeah, and we do like a buying bales off you today and that. But I think I have my vision how I like my farms to grow and progress. I think you said that last night, Doc, was the strategy side of it. Like I have a plan. I build the biogas plant. I went on a test map and laid it all out in the test map to make sure it was going to work for before I even come on here to build it. So I like progressing
You
forward.
have too much free time, my friend.
No, I do that and I have my coffee in the morning, sit in the chair.
He's the opposite of you, Wonko. He plans what he's going to do and is methodical. Where Wonko jumps full in and then says, "Oh, that didn't work."
Yeah, that does sound like Wonko.
That's because the rest of my life I have to keep constantly thinking and making lists and doing this, and then I got to do that, and then when I've done that, I got to do this. It's like today, I had a whole list of shit I needed to do today.
No,
down.
that probably was not your list, though.
Oh, no, it was...
It probably was the list given by your missus. Do this, do that, fix this,
no,
fix
my missus
that.
isn't like that.
Mine is.
Mine-
There was a whole list again on the table. Sort this out, sort that out. You got to take care of that. You did you forget about that? You still got to do that.
Nah, this is mostly work related. I spent most of Saturday doing invoices.
Oh, that's a good thing, though.
Oh, no. Paying them, not creating them.
Yeah, okay, that's a bit of a bummer then.
Sending them to the accountant. I get long lists of shit to do from the accountant. Yeah, so I got over tomorrow. I thought, well, I'll get cracking, get the shittiest jobs done first. Mrs. comes down and said, "Oh, we're going for a walk today." Oh, yeah. Normally we just go for a wander around the village. Not this time, we had to go off to somewhere else. Which is fine, but I hadn't planned for that.
He says that this is fine because she's listening right now.
I can't see her at the moment, so I should be alright.
When you can't see them, you gotta be worried, bud.
Yeah, that's when they come out with the knife. Or at least the girls that I go out with. Jamie, I think you need a Zerion.
What do you need a Zerion for?
I think I need 3 more potato officers.
Because then it would look like, like the rig that we used to have at work.
I was going to say, Zerion be a German man?
Well, that was going to be the second thing, but the first one was we used to pull one of those tankers with a Zerion.
The lag spike for me. Wow.
Oh, must be it's your
That
turn.
was a big one, Jamie.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy? Is it snack time? You want a snack? What? Biting me does not make me want to give you a snack. It doesn't. No, that's not how this works. You're supposed to be nice to me. Yeah. You gonna be nice to me? Okay. you go, bud.
That was a close call on that wall there, Jim.
Just about touched.
Is that a trailer or is that a spreader?
Trailer.
Let's see, I need a manure spreader like that. That size.
It's my manure hauler.
Yeah, you are King Pooh Man.
My shit makes money.
Yep, I'm making digestate as well.
Yeah, and you don't really lose out because you lose a little bit. You know, you put slurry in, you lose a little bit getting digestate, but you're getting tons of digestate. It's the same fertilizer value.
Yep.
It should actually be a higher fertilizer value with precision farming because it's more concentrated.
On 22, I used that mod where you could bake slurry into solid manure. That was a really nice mod, and that gave you a really good amount of solid fertilizer as well. I think when you put 1,000 liters of slurry in, then it would give you like 300 liters of solids. Take all the water out of it, basically.
Pumps and hoses?
I think it was, yeah.
Had the manure separate. I missed that mod. Or that DLC. I thought it was brilliant.
Pumps and hoses was good, yes.
It's only brilliant
especially
though.
with the BGA.
Yeah, the BGA, the manure separator, but it's only brilliant if you did, you know, if you did cows.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that don't do any animal farming in this game. Which some of the guys that I first started watching in 15 on YouTube are continuing to do the same exact thing that they did on 15. They get their group together, they create a line of equipment that they think is realistic to the farm, and then they just go out there and they simulate a harvest is essentially what they do. They don't actually play the game in a career mode. They just want to go out, get their friends together. A couple of guys are running combines, other guys are running grain carts, and they're trying to do it as realistic as possible. We don't play that way.
And I play realistic, my plows, planters, it's all realistic.
One thing I don't understand why you use so much real estate to build your farm, though.
Because I have the room.
I don't know. I try to keep things a bit tighter so I can not, I don't know, utilize smaller spacing.
I'll be right back here, gentlemen. I gotta take the kids to bed.
Okay.
But I guess if I hit Jamie's money.
Work a little harder, you would.
Oh, I'm working plenty hard enough. I just got a late start. What are we up to now? Farm valuation. I'm up to 5 million. That's like in 6 months. How can I incorporate my farm so I can get invest stats?
investors, people start telling you what to do.
No, not in agriculture over here because all these people are investing in agriculture so they can embezzle money.
12.8 million right now for this one.
12.8? Yeah. I mean, I got 600,000 just inventory. You probably got like 4 million.
Inventory. Oh. Inventory is only 1.9. Property 7.4 million. Equipment's just about 3.
Gotta look and see if I got any cows that we're gonna breed. I kind of forgot about that. When I have the 200 cows reproduced, that's gonna be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Actually, I got 52 cows that are going to reproduce all at the same time, too. Suck me. Oh, there's an onion harvest contract. How am I going to resist?
Vigorously.
Try. Yes, try very hard.
That's what I'm growing in my greenhouses is onions.
One of you guys are going to snap it up from me.
No worries here.
Oh, I'm too busy.
Well, next month is going to be the busy month for me.
Me too, and I can't really... It's not a very good time for it to be busy.
Well, I'm going to end my stream here, I think. It's just the time to get supper ready. all kinds of people in viewing tonight. They had up to 8 at one point, but not a single soul in chat. So,
Nobody cares what
No.
they say in chat.
no.
Nobody wants to ask us questions. They don't care what we have to say.
I will thank Wonko and Doc and Scrump for in-game. Hope Gizmo had fun.
Not too much.
No.
Yeah.
And I will catch yous all later. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.